What's up, family? It's your boy D. Dre back again to do this thing that I'm commanded to do, and we're going to talk a little bit about Elon Musk, and his little Roman salute that they keep saying that's all it is. The Roman salute he gave during the inauguration. But first, I want to tell you guys, hey, I got some good news about my health. Please, everybody, go out and go get checked. You know, use your insurances, whatever you got to do, go get checked. Catch things early. I got some great news about that. So I just want all of my brothers and sisters out there to go to the doctor. Don't mess around with that kind of stuff. Go to the doctor. We need you in this fight. But back to Elon Musk. The Roman salute. The Roman salute. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. This is my last word on it. I don't even want to keep talking about these clowns too much more. For those of you who live under a rock, most of this week we've been talking about whether or not that Yahtzee salute, I'm gonna call it Yahtzee, that Yahtzee salute that Elon Musk did at the inauguration, whether or not that was really a Yahtzee salute. This is the epitome of gaslighting on a global level. There are people out there that literally believe that they can tell us that we didn't see what we saw. We saw you. We can see you. So this is how it's been under this regime since the first time that man was in office to now. They changed the narrative. They changed the narrative of everything. They changed what is good to bad is good. That's scripture. I'll put it on the screen in post. They want to change the definition of what evil is and what good is, right? You can watch this man literally do it. Literally do this thing, this Yahtzee salute. And you still got people that are actually defending him. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to show it to you right now. So let's take a look at it if you haven't seen it.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
So let's do this again. I want you to pay attention. He meant that shit. He meant it. Listen to the effort he put into doing it. Okay, what? Listen. What? Listen.
I want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
Come on, man. Come on. Now, you got people out there that'll try to tell you that that's not what we saw. That wasn't the Yahtzee salute. They'll try to tell us this. And believe it or not, you got people out here who actually have defended this guy. I've heard excuses from like he said, heartfelt, he's giving his heart out to the crowd, to the fact that has Asperger's and he's on the spectrum. That's why he did it. He's awkward. He does these things. You know, sometimes he does things that, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily, it's a Roman salute. All of a sudden, after all these years, it's a Roman salute. So many excuses for this guy. As a matter of fact, let me play you some of the people out here who are excusing this cat.
Over social media are liberal mainstream media figures and people saying this was clearly a Nazi salute. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said this. And actually, this just came up at the confirmation hearings for Elise Stefanik, who's supposed to be ambassador to the UN. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy asked her to react to Elon doing a Nazi salute, and she said, well, I was not there, but he absolutely did not do that. And then he starts reading tweets from people on the internet. It's even setting aside the issue, an embarrassing misuse of time of our elected representatives. This was not a Nazi salute. It is a desperate smear by people who hate Elon and resent his influence. And I can't believe we're doing it. And we don't have to do this. It's not a smear. It's not. It is a smear. It's not I'm so overcome with disgust that we're doing the whole OK sign, Nazi tattoos thing. Stop it. You sound crazy.
It is so unserious, so ridiculous, and offensive, really, to legitimate, claims of white nationalism, Nazism, whatever, or potential victims of those ideologies, to claim that someone who literally said what his intention was after, my heart goes out to you. He was giving his heart to the crowd. It was very obvious what he was doing. And this takes me back to the time when we had a whole debate over the CPAC stage, apparently being in the shape of some Nazi symbol.
Oh my God.
Okay, I can't listen to any more of that. So you got the gist of what they were trying to do. And did you catch what she was doing? This is distaste. What did she say? This is disrespectful to the actual Nazis, to the actual white supremacists, as if they don't use signs and symbols. They use hand gestures, hand signs, and symbols. So none of it is what it is. As we're watching them do it and the stuff that comes out of their mouths, I don't understand how in the world these people are. And if there's anybody in our nation, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are giving them a pass, or you're listening to this idea that that's not what we saw, I can sell you rocks from the moon. Seriously, I can sell you Mars trips because you're cape-wearingly inadequate up here. And you're purposefully so. You're like that because you want to be. It's amazing to me how disrespectful it is for them to sit there in their smugness, especially not just these two, and act like we didn't see what we saw. It's the epitome of gaslighting. It's the most nationalized, narcissistic thing I've ever seen in my life. We literally have been watching this for over 70 to 80 years or more. This type of thing. And every single time it's been shown as something horrendous and distasteful to do. Now, with all that being said, who do you think should have jumped all over this? Who do you think should have been dead in their behinds about this thing? But about what that guy did? Who do you think? Why, the ADL, right? The Anti-Defamation League. You would think that these cape wearers for the Jewish state, or in other people that they say they are for, but okay, we won't get into that today. You would think the ADL would have been all over that. You would be surprised. Watch this. This is their statement on it. Check it out. And I'll read it to you. This says, "This is a delicate moment. It's a new day, and yet so many are on edge. Our politics are inflamed, and social media only adds to the anxiety. It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture. This is them making an excuse for another person of the dominant society. Remember in my last video, some of these people are part of the dominant society as well. In a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute, but again, we appreciate that people are on edge." This is coming from the people that are supposed to be fighting anti-Semitism, per se. In this moment, all sides should give another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath. So now we're supposed to be giving people you're giving them a bit of grace when this administration is giving no grace, no mercy to our Hispanic brothers and sisters. But now you have the ADL, who probably doesn't care about our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Now we're supposed to give them a little grace. Take a breath. Take a step back. right? This is a new beginning. Let's hope for healing and work toward unity in the months and years ahead. So they're calling for unity. They're calling for togetherness. Take a step back. Hey, calm down. It was just a moment of enthusiasm. He's kind of an awkward moment. It didn't mean anything. It wasn't a Nazi salute. This is why you can't trust that organization. This is the reason why you can't, because they pick their fights so bigotedly. They pick them, so they are so jingoistic in the way that they deal in this world when it comes to that type of stuff. It is obviously what we saw it to be. It is obviously, we're not stupid. We understand history. We understand what we saw. Knock it off. This is why changing the news and fake news and all of these things because it fits the narrative of the dominant society and the white supremacists that are in it. It fits that narrative. There is no grace. There is no mercy that they give anyone else. But when it comes to their faux pas or anything that might show who they really are, it's so funny to me that these people are walking around as brazen as they are, anti-immigration, anti-black, anti-Hispanic, all of these things, right? And they're so vocal about it, yet still a little sensitive when they show us who they are. Yeah. Why would you be ashamed of that? You basically walk the walk and talk the talk every day. Now all of a sudden, that's not what it was. It's horrible, horrible societal norm. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible protection that they're affording this man and that administration. Because you have to ask yourself, why hasn't our commander-in-chief come up and said, that was horrible? Even say, I'll talk to him about it. Yeah, he shouldn't have done that. But to throw water on a grease fire, here comes the ADL. Let's look at what the ADL says they're about. This is what they're supposed to be about. The ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. You see right here, who we are. ADL is the leading anti-hate organization in the world. Founded in 1913, its timeless mission is to stop the defamation of the Jewish people and to secure justice and fair treatment to all, which is very, very, very subjective to them, right? Today, the ADL continues to fight all forms of anti-Semitism, all forms of anti-Semitism bias, using innovation and partnerships to drive impact. A global leader in combating anti-Semitism, countering extremism, and battling bigotry wherever and whenever it happens. Okay? ADL works to protect democracy and ensure a just and inclusive society for all. Very subjective. But I'm going to click through some things and I'm going to show you some things. Let's click through some things and I'm going to show you where they really are with this. Okay? We'll go to resources. And I want to show you this. Hate symbols database. Pay attention. They talk about hate symbols. And on their site, you can click and it will show you basically what you should be looking for. Let's go to hate slogans and slangs and terms and all that stuff, right? So they give you certain words, hate slogans, all this other stuff. Love your race. See, this is they've put this in here as a hate symbol or rhetoric that could lead you to believe that group is a hate group. We love our race too. So they love their race more than they love anyone else. So this is subjective whenever they want to use it. So they have this hand signs here. Here it is. Here it is. This is on their site. This is on their site. Hitler salute, hand sign. Look at this. Look at this. Well, I can't get it. Let me get out of this. Look at that. What does that look like to you? What does that look like to you? What does this look like to you? Look, 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 look. Let's go back. Wait. Let me go back. Let me play it.
And I just want to say thank you
Watch.
for making it happen. Thank you.
Does that not look everything? Is that not what these people are doing? I'll give you more. I'll give you more. Let's do it again. Here we go. This has been all over the internet as well. Watch this.
States of America, here it is.
We'll watch it again. This is for the slow people in the house.
Of the United States of America, here it is.
We go back here. That's what it is. This is what it looks like. It's been that way for more than 75 to 80 years. Why all of a sudden are they trying to change the narrative? Why? Why? You saw it here. There are so many examples. Watch this again.
Actual Nazis marching in the streets of the United States of America, here it is.
And then remember when I showed you the video, he did that with oomph. He used his chest when he did it. Let's move on to another. I'll move on to another. Proof that this is what this is. Watch this video. This is where they try to call it a Roman salute. In Germany, and I used to live in Germany. I lived in Germany for a long time, over almost 20 years. In Germany, you can get arrested for it. You can get arrested for executing that sign, for performing the sign. How are you going to tell us what we... It is highly distasteful, highly disrespectful for them to even attempt to do this. This is the disdain and the hate and the opinion of us to try to make us believe that we didn't see what we saw. It is the epitome of a narcissistic regime. I'm gonna call it a regime. I'm even gonna call it an administration. A regime and an ideology that is It hasn't gone away. It's just got turbocharged since the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's just shaking the sleep out shaking the sleep out their head and getting back to it. This is what's happening. And I was telling somebody else the other day that what they're trying to do, what they're going to attempt to do is make violence, anti-Semitism, racism a normal part of the day, a normal part of what they do. They're trying to bring it back. To make America great again is to be able to sit on the heads of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and everybody thinks that's normal. This is what they're trying to get back to. This is what they're trying to get back to. And believe it or not, you got brothers and sisters out there that are saying, no, that's not what we saw. We support these people because for some odd reason, they think that they're a part of this great movement, or what Trump called the golden age. This is horrible, horrible positioning for our people. Horrible positioning for our people. Then you have some of our brothers and sisters that said, well, this is what y'all voted for, so all of us need to take a step back. They effed around and found out, so we need to stop trying to fight the fight for the Jews or whatever. We need to just step back and not do anything. I'm going to tell you why that's a mistake. I'm going to show you why that's a mistake. Let me show you what that ideology, what all of that means for us. Well, we just can't sit back and take a backseat to this thing. Let's go.
The Nazis viewed Afro-Germans, children with one African parent and one German parent, as a threat to the purity of the Germanic race. Now
understand, they're going to explain this, but I used to live in Germany, so I can tell you that there's that's a pervading attitude amongst them as well. It's here in the United States too, okay? But let's keep going.
In his 1925 autobiography, Mein Kampf, Adolf Hitler said, "The Jews had brought the Negroes into the Rhineland with a clear aim of ruining the hated white race by the necessarily resulting bastardization." So
that's the way he felt about black folks.
The Nazi German regime was explicitly racist, which included a wholesale rejection of African American culture, such as jazz and swing music, that were increasingly popular at the time. During the Nazi regime, Afro-Germans were marginalized in German society, isolated socially and economically, and not allowed to attend university. Racial discrimination prohibited them from seeking most jobs. In addition to being persecuted for their race, Afro-Germans were persecuted for other reasons as well. Such was the case of Hilarius Gilgas, an Afro-German dancer and communist activist from Dusseldorf, born in 1909. Gilgas was one of the few black Germans born in the country before the First World War, and in the mid-1920s, he joined the German Communist Youth. Because of his radical political stance, he was arrested in 1931 and sentenced to 1 year in prison. After his release in 1932, he continued as an active communist agitator. After the Nazis seized power in January 1933, Gilgas attempted to go into hiding, but his visibility due to his skin color made this difficult. In June 1933, he was arrested, and on the following day, his body was found under a bridge. The perpetrators, who killed Gilgas for his politics as well as his race, are believed to have been 6 members of the Gestapo, the German secret state police, and SS. By the end of 1937, the Gestapo had secretly rounded up and forcibly sterilized many Afro-Germans. Some were subjected to medical experiments, others mysteriously disappeared. Children were no exception. The Nazis forcibly sterilized a group of Afro-German children, whom they derogatorily called the Rhineland Bastards. Most of these children were the progeny of French colonial troops from Africa that were stationed in the Rhineland region after World War I.
So you see, if we would allow any of this to fester, if we excuse even the hand gestures and the symbols, remember they talked about, oh, they think all these symbols are all white supremacist symbols, because that's how y'all get down. Y'all got symbols, y'all got slogans, make America great again, and all the other slogans, you will not replace us, blood and soil, all of these things. allow this to fester and we start trying to collaborate with them and work with them and excuse them, this is our fate. What did he say that they did to the radical political views? What do you think Hebrew Israelites are? We have radical views in opposition to damn near everybody in this country because we love ourselves. That's a radical position to take, especially in this country, that we love ourselves. In the ADL, what did they say? If we love our own people, we love our race. To them, that's a radical position for a black person to take. Because the expectation of blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans is that we're supposed to love them just as much, if not more. That's what's in store for us if we let this type of stuff slide. We don't have time to sit back and take hey, that's their fight now. That's between them. You voted for that, so now deal with that. Well, you know how they're going to deal with that? They're going to start killing us. They're going to start sterilizing our kids. They're going to start lynching us at a higher rate than they already have been. And it's going to be a normal thing to do because they're normalizing this stuff. They're normalizing these things. But you know what? I'm not afraid because I know what the promises the Most High gave us. I know the promises he gave me. And if you're not prepared to die for this thing and keep your radical position, then you don't have any business being here. You have no business in this fight. There's nothing saying that you have to go out and proactively and violently do anything to anybody. As a matter of fact, the Bible doesn't support that. So don't be out here acting like a lone gunman like these white supremacists and the dominant society can get away with. We can't get away with the same things they get away with. So if you're thinking about all that vigilante weirdness, don't even start. But I would tell you to be ready and stay ready. That's an old saying. Get ready, stay ready. That turn the other cheek stuff did not mean that we were supposed to be professional victims. Get ready, stay vigilant. And honestly, if it has to go down, it has to go down. But we don't proactively go out and harm anybody. Nobody's saying that. Nobody, and if you do that, you're a clown, you're a weirdo, because that's not what we do. But what we're out here to do is battle for the hearts, minds, and souls of our people to show them who they are in these scriptures. That's your armor. That's your protection. Right? You can read that in Ephesians. Put on the armor of God. Do these things. Right? And I believe that the Most High will inherently give you a discernment as to how to move amongst these people. That's what that is. Don't ever get caught out here lacking. You know? Don't lose your job over this. Don't go to work spouting off. You need to stay vigilant and do what you need to do. We can't stand by. We can't sit back. We can't sit back and allow this to be a thing for us. What they're doing now is they're showing us. They're mocking us now. They're mocking us now. And the ADL is in hand with them. The ADL actually put up another post, and I'll see if I can find it, and I'll put it in this block if I can find it, where Elon Musk came back and did some more memes about Nazi stuff. He's not taking it serious because nobody's flailing him on the flaying his back open because of it. So he's just going to continue to do weird. Hey, take a breath. Step back, take a breath. You know, I understand that you're a little anxious right now, and we appreciate the anxiety that you have, ADL. Jewish people. But hold on, take a breath. He didn't mean it. He didn't really mock the Holocaust for you. Take a step back. It's not Nazi memes that he's putting out there. You see how ridiculous that sounds? Brothers and sisters, stay vigilant. Stay on top of your game. Don't let none of this stuff slide. You don't have time to sit back and just relax and say that's their fight. No, ultimately this is about us. Ultimately, this is about us. All of that stuff that those fascists did over in World War I and that was misplaced anger. Because ultimately, that anger was supposed to be for us, the actual people of that land. Now that spirit, that genocidal spirit, has stayed with us through the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, into World War II, and now it's followed, that spirit has followed us right here to the United States of America. And it's waking up. It's like we found you. And we're gonna move to do what we had planned to do in the first place. But see, the difference is we know who we are now. We know who we are in the Bible now. That's the difference. So this could very well be the last days for this dispensation. This could be the last days, because now, after we find a way to seal this 144,000, King Yahushua is going to come back and deal with it the way he wants to deal with it. But in the interim, until that happens, we got to put in this work. We got to spread this word. We got to get our people sealed. We got to, like the angels are going to do, we need to separate ourselves from those who don't believe that we are the chosen people, that Yahushua was a black man, that Jesus is not God. Stop worshiping that popular depiction of Yahushua, or who they call Jesus. We got to get away from those people who would pull us down into that nonsense. That's what we got to do. We got to fight for this thing. Contend for the faith. And again, we're not advocating any violence at all. And any of you out there that hear my voice and watch my videos, if you're out there proactively committing violence against the dominant society, anyone else, you're crazy. Because you're not commanded to do that. But protect yourselves. By any means necessary. If you're accosted, you protect yourself. Because we still have the right to protect ourselves. We ain't going out like suckers, but what we ain't going to do is we're not going to start acting like the dominant society and just proactively out here mass killing people and doing weird stuff to people. We're not doing that. We have an order, we have a culture, but we come from a line of warriors as well. So tread lightly. Anyway, let me get off this. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, and I do so in the name of Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai, and we'll talk a little bit later. One.